From rising to stardom to becoming embroiled in scandal. Tune in as we uncover the dramatic journey of Bobby Womack, his music, his scandals, and his legacy.
Trust me so much. I think you really trust me too much.
Now, Womack was born in Cleveland's Fairfax neighborhood near East 85th Street and Quincy Avenue to Naomi Womack and Franley Womack, the third of 5 sons. Franley Jr. and Curtis were Bobby's oldest brothers, and Harry and Cecil were his younger brothers. They all grew up in the Cleveland slums, so poor that the family would fish pig snouts out of the local supermarket's trash. That's how you know they were on tough times. He had to share a bed with his brothers. His mother told him he could sing his way out of that ghetto. She said, "You can sing and use your talent to get up out of this ghetto. If you know, you know." Now, recalling his childhood, Bobby said, "We came up very poor. My kids have had a much better life than I'd ever thought of living. And the neighborhood was so ghetto that we didn't bother the rats and they didn't bother us." Can you imagine that? Even the rats didn't bother them, okay? Even the rats was trying to see when they was going to get their next food, their next meal. Times was tough. Now, Bobby Womack was raised Baptist. Their mother played in a church choir, and their father was a steel worker, part-time minister, and musician who played the guitar and also sang gospel. Now, his father repeatedly ordered his sons to not touch his guitar while he was away. Yet all 5 brothers regularly played guitar while their father was at work. Now, that is typical. A lot of times when you're growing up, your parents will tell you, "Hey, don't touch this, don't touch that." But what do? We still go and touch it. And then we will learn a lesson, okay? Now, one night, 8-year-old Bobby broke a guitar string. I know he was scared. And then he tried to replace the string with a shoelace. Now, after his father found out about the shoelace replacing the string that Bobby had broken, he offered Bobby the chance to play the guitar for him in order for him to not get a whooping. So I know Bobby was playing that guitar that night, baby. Now, by the mid-1950s, Bobby was touring with his brothers on the Midwest gospel circuit as the Womack brothers, along with his mom and his father, playing a guitar. Now, in 1954, under the moniker Curtis Womack and the Womack brothers released the single Buffalo Bill. Now, of course, a lot more records followed. Now, Sam Cooke, this is where things get, okay, a little different. He's making his way into the industry. Now, he meets Sam Cooke. Now, Cooke first saw the group performing in the 1950s. He became their mentor and helped them go on tour. So he helped them, he helped pave the way. He helped them get put on. He seen talent. He said, "Okay, I can help y'all. Let's work together." Now, they went on national tours with the staple singers. Even though Curtis often sang lead, Bobby was allowed to sing alongside him, showcasing his deep, strong vocals and his soul, in contrast to his older brother's smoother tenor. Okay, so during performances, Bobby would sometimes imitate the role of a preacher, which he did sound like a preacher. I watched a lot of his concerts, and he was up there preaching, honey. Now, which later became his nickname. They was calling him a preacher. And at 16, Bobby dropped out of high school. He had bigger plans. He had a different plan. He said, "I'm going to do what my mama said. I'm going to sing my way out of this ghetto. And high school is not going to get me there, baby." He probably wasn't saying it like that, but he had a whole bigger vision. Now, at the beginning of the 1960s, Sam Cooke formed S&R Records, and then he signed them to the label in 1961. They released a handful of gospel singles. They came into it more, from the church, gospel, this is what we were taught, this is what we grew up on, this is the music I'm comfortable with singing. But then see, Sam Cooke, he found a way to get them to go from gospel music to secular soul and pop influenced music, okay? And then he changed their name to the Valentinos. Then they relocated to Los Angeles like they always do. They always have to go to Los Angeles. That's like where all of the resources are if you're trying to be an artist. And so Sam convinced them to change their genre of music. And then Sam Cooke produced and arranged the group's first hit single, Looking for a Love, which was a pop version of the gospel song Couldn't Hear Nobody Pray. Now, the song became an R&B hit and helped land the group an opening spot for James Brown. they started touring with James Brown, y'all. That was big. They hit it big. They went from Sam Cooke, he put them on, and then now they're like touring with James Brown. Oh yeah, y'all next up, okay? They had their first hit single already. They was on their way. Now the group's next hit came in 1964 with the country sound It's All Over Now, which was co-composed by Bobby. Now their version was rising on the charts when Rolling Stones covered it. So they made it to the Rolling Stones magazine. This song was a hit. Now, Bobby was also a member of Sam Cooke's band. He was touring and recording with him from 1961. The Valentinos, which was the name they was going by, their career was left shaky after Sam Cooke was shot and killed in a Los Angeles motel. And I will be covering Sam Cooke on this channel, so we're going to be talking about what happened with him. That way we can kind of get both sides, okay? Now, the news was so devastating, like it just shocked everyone, okay? And then the brothers, the Womack brothers, they disbanded. And SAR Records, SAR Records, they folded. They didn't last because, the owner, Sam Cooke, the creator, the genius behind it, was unalived. Now, Womack attempted to start his solo career in 1965, first recording for Him Records, and later the Chess Records subsidiary. Now, this is where it gets sticky, y'all, with Bobby, okay? Because not only did he attempt his first solo career, he started getting a little close with somebody, y'all. Now, mind you, we was grieving. We still grieving Sam Cooke at the time. His fans are still sad and devastated. And then, Bobby, see, he had a cold way of doing things. He was different. He knew how to slide in, okay? I might have not mentioned this in the beginning, but Bobby was a Pisces. So, you know how the Pisces roll. They could slither their way in and slither their way out when they're ready, okay? And so we was going through a lot with Sam Cooke being unalived. And so here come Bobby, pulling up with his woman, okay? We about to dive into that. Let's talk about it. With Bobby and Sam Cooke's widow, Barbara Cooke. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But see, he did begin to face some backlash because he married Barbara. And so a lot of times he would go to radio stations and DJs would throw away his records because they felt like, you disrespectful. We just lost Sam Cooke, and here you are with his woman, his wife, his widow. Like, come on now. So, a lot of people was not supporting Bobby Womack. So, he got hit hard. So, he continued to work as a session musician, and between 1965 and 1968, he toured and recorded with Ray Charles. Now, in 1965, Bobby relocated to Memphis. So, he left Los Angeles and went to Memphis, where he worked at Chips American Studios. He was playing guitar on recordings by Joe Tex and Box Tops. Bobby played guitar on several of Aretha Franklin's albums. So he was, he was collaborating. He was still working. But he wasn't so in the forefront, but he was working behind the scenes. Now, he even played the guitar on Aretha Franklin's Lady Soul, but not on the hit song Chain of Fools. Now, as he was doing all of this, his work as a songwriter caught the ear of music executives after Wilson Pickett took a liking to some of Womack's songs and insisted on recording them. So he was in, like I said, Bobby captured them again. Now, among the songs were I'm a Midnight Mover and I'm in Love. In 1968, Bobby signed with Minute Records and recorded his first solo album. In 1968, Bobby signed with Minute Records and recorded his first solo album, Fly Me to the Moon, where he scored his first major hit with a cover of Barry McGuire's California Dreamin'. That was a big deal. So he was working with, Sly Stone and the Family, Janis Joplin, contributing vocals and guitar work on the Family Stone's accomplished album, There's a Riot Going On. So he was doing a lot. In fact, Bobby was one of the last people to see Janis Joplin alive because he visited her hours before she passed away at the Landmark Hotel in Los Angeles, California. So he was the last one to see Janis Joplin alive. Now, soul music legends Sam Cooke and Bobby Womack have a complex past that many are unfamiliar with. Like many men before them, the source of their drama involved a woman. And it's all because of woman. Now look, here we go. Now we need to debunk how Sam Cooke became Bobby's mentor. We're going to go back in and dive a little deeper, okay? Now, the Womack boys' father, Franley Womack, arranged for the 5 of them to open for Sam Cooke's band. Now, Bobby Womack was put on with Sam Cooke by his father, okay? He arranged for them to all to meet. Like I said, Bobby was cool with Sam Cooke up until Sam Cooke's death. Now, they both had gospel in common. Now, Sam Cooke, we're going to get into it. Sam Cooke was married to a young woman, Barbara Campbell Cooke. The two met when he was 18 and she was 13, y'all. By the time she was 17, around 1953, she would give birth to their daughter, Linda. 6 years later, after both Cooke and Barbara had married and divorced other people, the two would make it official and marry. So they were both with somebody else. They decided to, divorce the other person they were with, and then they came together and got married. Now, the marriage had its ups and downs, with Sam Cooke having multiple affairs on his wife. Sadly, a year before his death, the couple's third child drowned in a pool at 18 months. That is sad. Now, Barbara would tell one of Cooke's biographers that the baby's death and the way her husband died made her vulnerable to the advances of the 19-year-old Womack, allowing them to become close friends despite her 10 years his senior. He had the shoulder she could cry on. So Bobby showed up at Cooke's funeral with Barbara and dressed in one of Cooke's suits. He also came to the funeral service driving Cooke's car. Within 3 months of the change gonna come artist's funeral, the two were married at her urging. So she urged him, we need to get married now. She urged him, let's hurry this up. Hurry up and put a ring on it. She was worse than Beyonce on that one. She said, if you promise to give me 5 years, this is what Barbara said to Bobby. According to his memoir, I will give you a lifetime. Whatever you need to do, I just need you to walk with me here. Barbara, Miss Barbara, Miss Barbara. Okay. On February 18th, 1965, a feature on Jet magazine announced to the world they were married. This was news, y'all. People were like, wait, what? Bobby Womack is marrying Sam Cooke's widow? What? Yes, y'all, that's what happened. So we all was reading Jet magazine and was like, what is going on? Okay. Now, many saw their nuptials as a betrayal, causing Bobby to even fall out with his brothers because his brothers felt like it was wrong. A lot of people was like, what are you doing? She was with Sam. You need to respect Sam. He put you on. Don't forget where you came from, It was that type of pep talk. And Bobby being hot-headed, he was like, I do whatever I want to do. I do it when I want to do it, He was like, don't tell me nothing. I got this. That's my wife now. So the backlash did not stop there. They would start booing him at concerts. And he was even assaulted by Barbara's brother. So he was getting it by everybody. Everybody was like, yeah, we were cool with you, Bobby. But now we don't know if we could trust you. And then you even got the song, I Wish You Wouldn't Trust Me So Much. Okay? So this is getting heated. He's getting booed. People are not feeling him. And Barbara's brother is not liking him either. It's whoa. So even Sam's father was upset. Of course he was. And reportedly was especially concerned that Bobby would be around the late singer's daughter, Linda, who was then 11. So they felt like he shouldn't have been around Linda. She was only 11 years old. And then he's with the mom. And it's just this whole situation was just messy. Super messy. We need a mop, a broom, and a dustpan messy. Now, despite this, Bobby insisted Sam would have approved of his marriage to Barbara. Because Bobby had this notion in his head, Sam trusted me. Sam was my friend. So he would have wanted me to be there for his wife while he's not here. So that's the mindset that Bobby had towards the situation. But the fans was not going for it. The family was not going for it. And him being around Linda, yeah, they was not going for it. Now, Bobby said that he developed bad habits with his new wife, in addition to enduring all of the criticism about what looked to the world as betrayal. So he was going through a lot, being with her. He was in love with her, but it was more I'm taking a huge risk being with you, So if they would get into arguments, that'd be the first thing he would say, I'm taking a risk being with you. I'm sabotaging my reputation being with you. You need to respect me, That's the type of argument he would probably have with her if they did argue, So then he did something that would cause an irreparable rift in the marriage, bringing it to a quick end. And I mean quick, honey. He snatched everybody edges, okay? Everybody edges got away quick. Now, it doesn't stop there. The saga continues. In 1970, 6 years into their marriage, Barbara found him in bed with the 18-year-old daughter Barbara found him in bed with her 18-year-old daughter, Linda Cooke. Bobby was 25. Mind you, she's 10 years his senior, okay? Bobby was 25. Now, an enraged Barbara pulled out her gun and shot Bobby, grazing his temple. Now, that's deep. She shot at him. He was lucky to be alive. And that's crazy because how are you with my daughter, you know? It was not right from the beginning. Now, Linda's affair with Bobby would not last long. However, Linda would later marry Bobby's younger brother, Cecil, in 1979. The two formed a group called Womack and Womack, where they put out several albums. Love Wars was one of the songs. Radio Music Man. Love Wars, which was released in 1983, was one of the albums. Radio Music Man was one of the albums. Star Bright, Conscience, Family Spirit, it's a lot more. They were on a roll. Now, Linda and Cecil had a son named Vincent, named after Linda's brother who passed away. Vincent Womack tragically died by suicide at the age of 21 in 1986. Even after this heartbreaking loss, the couple, who had known each other since childhood and raised 7 children together, remained married until Cecil's passing in 2013. So you could just see, like, Linda and Bobby had an affair. He cheated on Barbara. Her daughter betrayed her mom, and vice versa. It was a lot. So people was not feeling this from the beginning. It started off messy, and so it ended messy. Usually how you get them is how you lose them. It's weird, but something along those lines. And so Linda ended up getting with Bobby's brother. And it's just like the saga just keep like, it's just a whole revolving door at this point. Merry-go-round. Everybody just going around. Now see, after all of this had me really thinking, what is I wish he didn't trust me so much? What was it really about? I wish he wouldn't trust me so much. I don't know why he did either. Now, when Bobby released one of his last chart-topping hits, I wish he didn't trust me so much, he started the song with, I'm the best friend he's got. I'd give him the shirt off my back. He knows he can trust me with his life. But each time he leaves me alone, he leaves me with his wife. This was messy, y'all. Like I said, we need a broom, a mop, a dustpan, and heck, we even need some paper towels at this point. Okay? And a bucket. Okay? It's that messy. And those lyrics was like, from an outsider looking in, yeah, that was about the situation. That's the thing about artists is you guys love to be subliminal. Hey, y'all gonna start dropping little gems in there like, you know, I seen you hooked up with so by something. And then all of a sudden, this is like, oh so fitting, okay, to the situation. Whether the song was not about that, this situation happened, and so now the song is about that situation. You get what I'm saying? This is how art works, okay? If you're an artist, you know that. Because I foreshadowed this. Like, okay, I said this, now the situation happened, now that song came out first, but now that song is about this situation, even though it came out first. But we acted out what the song said. So it's still like a back and forth blueprint, if that makes sense, okay? That is the world of artistry. If you want to understand an artist, that's the way you do it, okay? Trust me, I know. I've been there. I know that. I'm still there. Okay. Now, songwriter Johnson Austin, he decided to tweet about this. He said, when you consider that Bobby Womack attended Sam Cooke's funeral wearing one of Sam's suits, and then later married Sam's widow and slept with Sam's daughter, then his tune, I Wish He Didn't Trust Me So Much, could be interpreted as a diss record, and a savage one at that. Now, I couldn't agree anymore with Johnson, like I just said. You know, you wanted everything that Sam had. You wanted his soul. You wanted his car, his wife, his daughter, his clothes. Heck, you even wanted his diet plan. What was he eating? What was his favorite drink? What was his favorite color? Because it's my favorite color now. So, like, I don't know. It was a little weird. Bobby just had this... I think what it was that Sam put him on. So Bobby felt like, I want to be like him. He already was, like, looking up to Sam. So when Sam took him under his wing, it was more like, okay, let me pick up every little gem that, let me pick up every gem that he putting down, okay? Let me pick it all up. Let me just literally follow what he doing. But I want to, be like him. I admire him. But a part of me still wants everything that he has. That's the type of vibes I was getting from this. Now, some will say, well, most media outlets will say, the song is not about an actual affair, but the singer's desire to be with his friend's woman. The lyrics say, there's a way she make me feel. Lord, I'm scared, so scared of what I do. If she starts feeling the same way too. It's not that she leads me on. The song also says, I'm getting there all by myself. Bobby insisted in his memoir that the relationship started after his friend passed away, dispelling rumors the Billboard R&B Top 10 single was talking about. At the time of Bobby's death in 2014, the complicated web of relationships was completely out of sorts. They was not talking. Everybody was just in their own world. So like no one speaks to each other no more. So Bobby said in his memoir, I don't speak to Barbara no more. Linda doesn't speak to her. Haven't spoken to Cecil for years. No one speaks to no one. So like everybody cut ties with each other. Everybody doing their life. Everybody just literally parted ways. And it's like we don't all of us don't want to look back because it was that messy. People tried to say that song was not about Sam. But like I said, when it comes to penmanship and artistry, if you ask me, it was definitely about him. Might have not been about him verbatim, but if the shoe fit, wear it. And that shoe was looking pretty spliffy on that foot of his. So, yeah. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about that. Now, in 2014, Bobby Womack's remarkable journey came to an end, leaving behind a legacy as vibrant and complex as his music. Bobby Womack's life was as vibrant and complex as his music. Over the course of his storied career, he demonstrated an exceptional talent that left a huge mark on the music industry. Despite the controversies and challenges he faced, Bobby's musical gifts were undeniable, and that is real. His music is undeniable, because if you think you're lonely now, wait until tonight, girl. Now, his soulful voice and songwriting genius produced timeless classics that continue to resonate with audiences today, and you got that right, because I be bumping that music any chance I get. Now, through all the ups and downs, Bobby's legacy remains a testament to his remarkable talent and resilience. He was a master of his craft, and his contributions to music will not be forgotten. His story, filled with triumphs and tribulations, serves as a reminder that even amidst chaos, great artistry can flourish. And with that being said, that was the life, the legacy, the music, the career, the controversies, the scandals of Bobby Womack's life. And like I said, a classic, iconic. Okay, Bobby had it down pat. Now, granted, he didn't have to do what he did to Sam, but the industry is what? Cold-blooded. They don't care about nobody, okay? And so every man is really for themselves, whether you put them on or not. It's a different world out there. But Bobby will still go down as an icon. I respect Bobby. I love his music. I still thump that music to this day. And, you know, rest well, Bobby. We love you here still. We still play your music. We keep you alive. And with that being said, I'm going to see y'all in my next video with the name of the controversy to the next controversies. What y'all want to see next? Make sure y'all put that down in the comment section. That way we can get to talking. I'm going to see y'all in my next video. Boom, and I am out. And that is me signing off from Controversies. I'll catch y'all in the next one.